'em in the pasture, run 'em in the pen, work 'em on the Sundays, do it all again. Race 'em in the sand, buck 'em in the mud, drip a cowboy's sweat, bleed a cowboy's blood.
Hi, I'm tie-down roper Tyson Durfee, and you are watching the Pepper Stewart Show.
He's not lying to you. He's telling the truth. He told you. He did. He told you. Don't know why, but you are here, tuned in to the Pepper Stewart Show. And I'm stuck here again as your host, as each and every week. And with that, we've got somebody's here. Let's flip over to Texas Cam and see what's going on.
It ain't Tex.
Oh, look at
that.
Richard.
Your ears will be saved this week.
There you go. There you go. Richard's here. So we're going to sit around and talk about stuff today. So we got a lot of stuff lined up for you guys. If you haven't heard about Warriors Ranch Foundation, we're going to talk to them today and tell you what that's all about, in case you're wanting to know what that is. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. And we got some cow stuff. Always cow stuff. Cow stuff's going on. We got some prices, some more prices, up prices, down prices. I don't know. Do you have what's the deal with the death tax? We're going to tell you about that. PBR bull riding, that happened over the weekend. We had some correspondents up there. Monica and Allie was up there doing stuff for you guys. We'll show you a little bit of that. And as always, you can find all that footage, action stuff on the Book of Faces at Pepper Stewart Show, as well as pepperstewart.com if you want to check out some of that stuff. But without that, what's going on? What are you up to? What are you doing? What happened?
Playing with cattle.
Playing with cattle. So what are you doing? Now I know the AgX stuff's going on and the AgX affiliation. So what do you got going on with that?
One of their affiliates and going out and putting auctions on the internet and on the phone app, bringing them to the producers.
So they can buy their cows on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Off the phone.
From their comfy little seat.
Oh, that's a good.
Kick back, watching the Cowboy game.
I wonder if does UPS bring the cows when they order it?
No, we haven't figured out that one yet.
Not like Amazon?
No, not like Amazon. They can just pick it up and drop it with
drone. Just drone those cows. Just load them up, drone it. That'll make it work.
No, still got to get a bull hauler.
All right. So where's that? That's AgX on the Intraweb net.
Mm-hmm.
What is their website? Their website's what? agx.io or something?
.io.
.io. Trying to get fancy. Okay, why couldn't they be .com like everybody else?
Maybe they're out of .coms.
They run out?
Could have.
The internet's been here a while. I don't think I've reached the end of the internet yet, but I've gotten close. I've gotten close before. Oh, man. So that's what we got. We got stuff going on. I don't know what you want to know about first, but we're going to tell you about stuff. Hurricane Harvey and Irma. If you go on to the Facebook, we've got the most recent release from the Texas Southwest Cattlery Association, where if you still, they've extended the time, so you still have time to file a claim for your losses. I think we told you about that a week or so ago, and I think they extended the deadline, so you can get on there and make sure you get all your information to them. So that'll be a good deal. We talked about this. We talked about this a while back, and or not about this in particularly, but we talked about JBS, and this is what happened. JBS is a Brazilian meat packing company, by the way. The billionaire co-owner of JBS gave himself up to Brazilian police. And you're wondering, well, why would he need to give himself up to the police? Well, this is what happened. I can't remember when we put this out there, where they can go back and read the initial information, but it's part of the corruption scandal in Brazil. Joey Batista, does not play for the Rangers. Or this one doesn't. That's a different one. He's the billionaire co-owner of JBS, the world's largest meat packer. Has turned himself in to authorities in Brazil after a request for his arrest was made. This is the latest development in the corruption scandal involving politicians and meat inspectors, while forcing the sale of various Batista family holdings. Batista on Sunday turned himself into custody. And the Friday, let's see. J&F, addition to Batista, J&F Investments SA executive Ricardo Saad also turned himself in too. J&F Investments SA is the holding company that controls JBS and a number of other companies owned by Batista and his family. So both Batista and his brother Wesley have admitted to bribing politicians in a plea bargain testimony in May. There's been a request to arrest Wesley, the brother, so far. The brother resigned from his position at JBS from the board in May. The home of Joey Batista was raided by police on Monday following his surrender. Another home was raided in Rio de Janeiro, owned by Marcelo Miller, a former federal prosecutor who allegedly aided Batista's plea deal. Brazil has seen political chaos in the past 3 years of criminal investigation called Operation Car Wash, finding in money laundering and bribes. A recording of Brazilian President Michel Temer alleges him endorsing hush payments made to possible witnesses in this probe. Amidst the bribe to politicians, the meat inspector scandal was unearthed as well through this operation, Weak Flesh. That's a whole different operation. The investigation found the meat inspectors were bribed to pass meat. And that is why Tex is not here. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, corruption and greed.
They were trying to. Now that's just part of the story. The whole story is up on Pepper Stewart Show on Facebook. The whole story's there. Yeah, they were some of that rotten meat and bad meat. They were just paying off to get it passed through.
Mm-hmm.
So good thing you didn't eat none of that.
At least I hope I didn't.
Well, maybe that was in Brazil. I guess I should have read the rest of the story, but I'm not Paul Harvey. But that's some beef stuff. We got some more beef stuff too. Before we dive off into the beef, I want to tell you about this. I don't know who watches. Do you watch it, Vikings? Do you watch the show Vikings on History Channel? Have you ever seen that?
No.
You had never seen that?
No.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good show. And I guess I'm not the only one that thinks that, because the History Channel has ordered a 20-episode 6th season. 20 episodes, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Productions to resume in the fall in Ireland. Eli, the channel's executive vice president of program, announced this on Tuesday. Series regular Catherine Warnick, also known as Lagartha. I can't say it right. Now I messed up. Okay. What happened? Sorry, she's going to direct an episode in season 6. That's what's going to happen. I think I fell asleep for a minute. Season 5 is going to air in 2 parts, starting with a 2-hour premiere November 29th, followed by 8 episodes airing every Wednesday, and the remaining 10 episodes of season 5 are slated to air in 2018. The series has evolved from early raids in England to the death of Ragnar Lothbrok, a bunch of battles, and now it's going on to the sons of Ragnar. They're exploring and conquering the world here. So it says everyone looks forward to entertaining the viewers with 40 new episodes over the next 2 seasons. 40 episodes. That's a lot of TV.
Yeah, if it's not on Farm and Ranch TV, I just don't watch it.
They might have to add it. I don't know. They may have to add it. But that's interesting. What else is interesting about Vikings is, if you play around on Ancestry and you do a lot of digging, because my wife's been sitting there doing this for weeks now, digging stuff up and finding everything out. Anyway, the funny story is, and when you trace her history back, her 40th great grandfather is Ragnar Lothbrok.
she's a
That's
Viking.
crazy. Well, she had when they did the DNA thing or whatever that deal is, she had a bunch of Scandinavian, and that's what it is, the Vikings.
Yeah.
So we got to digging and digging and digging and digging, and she stays in there for hours and going. She'll pull up the stuff on Ancestry. She'll look at this, and then she'll go get this and this and spend hours researching like 4 or 5 people just to make sure, because when she first got on there, started doing stuff, even like her own family stuff, some of that stuff wasn't right. People just going in there and guessing and doing stuff. So there's a lot of stuff you have to go in there
And fix.
and spend a lot of time. Very time consuming. So don't ask me, because I don't know. I haven't looked up anything.
I go to all breeds and look up horses.
Also, then you go to All Breeds and find yourself. What? All Breeds Pedigree.
Yeah.
You can find I got a website on there. On all whatever horses that we had that we've sold, we go in there and put the information in. So it's in there somewhere. Somebody will find it. Somebody will find it one of these days. Oh man, what do you got over there? You got something good?
Well, we got a little beef. Let's see. Got a little cattle rustling.
Let's throw
And some more beef.
How about you? You got some. That movie. You got anything about the movie? I talked about this the other day about the Clown Coalition was mad about the It movie. You got anything about that?
Have you seen it?
Have you seen It?
Have you seen it?
It. Did you see It?
No, I haven't.
Well, what happened over that? This was in England, by the way.
A man arriving for a showing of the horror film in England received a fright from the theater's sole other occupant, a clown holding a red balloon. Twitter users, a.k.a. Chris, posted a photo last week to the microblogging site showing the clown sitting alone in the empty theater at Cineworld in Aldershot, England. Went to see it. I'm first in the screen, and this expletive guy just sitting there, he wrote. A second photo posted moments later shows the clown standing near the screen. Now he's wandering around. Chris said he was alone in the theater with the clown for about 10 minutes, but the initial creepy experience turned out okay. He had a chat with him. He was actually all right. He said the clown did not stick around for the movie, of which he gave a glowing review.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing it went all right, and he wasn't punching the clown in the theater,
Right?
because that could have been bad. But it wasn't Pee Wee, so.
Yeah. Well, if you had a good barrel man in there, it might be different.
There you go. But and that's what it is. That had to freak that guy out, because you just got this clown sitting in the middle of the theater.
And he gets up roaming around.
So I don't think you could do. I think you can do stuff like that over here. Stuff's different.
You get
over
shot.
There. Yeah, you can't do that around here. You get beat up or shot or something. Somebody would get you.
I know. I might shoot first, ask questions later.
God, that's a horrible. Let me tell you about this. While we're on odd news, I think we'll run through some odd news, and then one more of these stories, and then we'll call up and find out about the Warrior Ranch Foundation. A former county employee in Arkansas pled guilty to fraud after using their government credit card for personal purchases, including a tuxedo for her dog.
What the?
Christy Lynn Goss, who was arrested in October 2016 on allegations of using a Garland County government credit card to make nearly $200,000 worth of personal purchases while working as an administrative assistant to Judge Rick Davis. She pled guilty on Monday to the court to six fraudulent uses of the card. 6 uses, $200,000 6 times? That's got to be more than that.
Well, that's an expensive dog tuxedo.
See, the guy's been scheduled to go on trial on Tuesday on the 6 fraud charges, which include 2 counts involving more than $25,000, which bears the maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. 4 counts involving more than $5,000. That carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Investigators said that the purchases grossly made with the county card included personal bill payments, nearly $1,000 worth of Razorback tickets for the Arkansas Razorbacks football game. She bought a diamond bracelet some clothes, school lunches for her kids, pet insurance, and the tuxedo for her pup. Or she I guess November 22nd when her hearing is. All right, she bought $1,000 worth of Razorback tickets. So did she just go one time and got the good seats, or did she go a bunch of times and got the cheap seats?
No telling.
That we need more information. We need to call up and ask
Well,
about that.
$1,000, it is an Arkansas Razorback game.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
It was probably a whole bunch of good seats.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You probably got bought tickets for everybody. She bought tickets for all of them. Let's try this ring-a-ding-ding here and see what we can do here.
Hello there.
Hello,
Yes, this is Eileen. How are you?
Eileen. You are live here on the Pepper Stewart Show. What are you up to tonight? Or today?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this is Eileen with Warrior Ranch Foundation.
How are you?
Oh,
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, we're glad to have you, and we're throwing this up on the screen for the folks to see. You want to give us a little background information on kind of how you got this started and about what it's all about?
Sure. Well, it's been something I've been dreaming about for probably about 10 years, and a couple of years ago I started taking the steps to move forward and do this foundation. It's Warrior Ranch Foundation, and we are America's heroes, rescuing America's icon, and we are open to all veterans and first responders and being mindful of those with PTSD, and we also are open to all horses with a focus on those in need of rescue and show horses who are suffering from performance anxiety and that may need a little bit of retraining. And through horse interaction, we provide a safe haven for the healing and well-being of veterans and horses. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
And what part of the country are you located in?
We are in New York. We're Long Island, New York. We have a lot of veterans on our island here, along with first responders. And believe it or not, we have a lot of horses on Long Island, too. In fact, I'm not sure I should say this to a Texan, but there's a statistic out there that says per capita we have more horses than Texas.
Wow.
But just per capita, I think you guys outdo us in the total number, though.
But that's still that's still good, and a lot of people, we talk to people all the time. And we talked to I think someone from a farm up there a couple years ago, and a lot of the viewers didn't know that even horses existed in New York.
Oh, they do. We have a lot of them, and we've got a lot of backyard horses. Some people keep them in their backyards, and then we've got show barns. We do have some trails on Long Island, and actually upstate New York, there's lots of trails and lots of ranches and farms upstate.
Now
I'm closer to Manhattan. I'm closer to Manhattan than upstate New York. So.
And the horses that you get, the horses in your program, where do they come from? Specific people? They come from different places, or what criteria do you have for the horses that come into you?
Well, right now we have a few rescue horses. Some of them are our personal rescue horses that we've rescued over the years and that we're using now. And currently we're using private barns to host our programs. We don't have a full-blown ranch yet, but so the criteria is case-by-case basis, basically.
Okay, and then as far as your veterans, what is there a specific criteria?
No, you just have to be a veteran or a first responder, and quite frankly, we find a lot of folks that they may have PTSD, they may not, but if somebody has served in war, or even the first responders who day in and day out deal with fires, car crashes, or even such first responders that down in your area that are dealing with natural disasters, like you guys are just recovering from Hurricane Harvey. Those guys all deal with stuff day in and day out, so it's got to affect you somehow, some way. And I'm sure you know this, the outside of a horse is good for the inside of a human, so there's always something magical about that human-horse bond. And we bring the folks in for a day, we show them a little bit of horsemanship, do some groundwork, they make a connection with the horse, and it's interesting because a lot of times they'll come, and the best way I could put it is their guard is up, like sort of like they're like, what are you going to show us? What is this all about? And then by the end of the day, the smiles on their face is unbelievable. It's just so fulfilling to see, and we're realizing just how beneficial it is for the folks out there. So
Now, your people that come in and work with the horses, are you getting, when the people come to you, are they horse people that have horse background, the people that's new to horses, or people just looking for something different to do to help them?
Basically, they do not have horse experience. I think we've had one or two people that may have had. One person's been around horses, one had a little bit, but for the majority, they do not have horse experience, so it's a real introduction to them. And yes, they're looking for something different to sort of help them and purge and relax for a day. And our main goal is to teach them how to be, why to be, and where to be around horses safely. So suppose they can go somewhere nearby. Let's say, they don't live close to us, but somebody else nearby has a barn, and maybe they can go and relax and purge a little bit and decompress and, get a little less stress in their life by being around a horse.
Okay, and your as far as your involvement with the horses, is this something? The horse is something you've done your whole life. You ride, you compete, or what's the background like that as far as?
Well, I grew up in Queens, which is one of the boroughs of New York City. So let's say I grew up riding buses and subways, but I always loved horses. And probably about 15 years ago, I started to get into horses and just absolutely loved them, and just will continue to be around them forever. The other folks in our program, Tony Simonetti, who's our equine specialist, has been training horses for over 20 years. He's probably got 600 horses under his belt. I mean, he has trained some of the wide-eyed, stiff-necked bucking horses that I've ever seen, and he can really decompress them. So he's been around horses for a long time. And Senta Kelly, who's the secretary of our organization, she's also a horse trainer and has been around horses, I believe, most of her life. So, and then we have other people in the organization that are just part of the organization. They're not horse people. But, yes, I just absolutely love horses. They're the most beautiful creature.
Oh, it's just always something. Just being around them. Even when we go out to the barn, we go feed or go do something. Just something about being around the horses. It's just relaxing.
Yeah, it's remarkable, and that's what we say to the folks too. Because we have people who go, "Well, I don't want to go near the horse." You can do as little or as much as you want in our program. You want to stand on the other side of the fence and just watch the horse? That's great, and we have some folks who do that, and they do. They relax and they love it. We have other folks that do a little bit. We've had one or two folks that have taken it a little bit further and started to really like to learn how to train the horse. But for the most part, that's a rare person who comes in that wants to take it to that level. However, you're right. I mean, it's the most magnificent creature I think God created. So it's just so beautiful and relaxing to be around them.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about the connection with the veterans and the first responders that you have?
Oh, that I have, sure. I come from a military family. I did not serve, but my family has generations of military, Marines, Navy, Army, and we also have a lot of firefighters, cops, EMTs, nurses. So that's what drew me to it. So also Tony, the vice president of our organization, an equine expert, he's a retired police officer, and he's got military in his family, and Senta as well. Everybody in our organization has ties to military within their family.
All right, and as far as if somebody wants to get involved with it, say they live in the area or they're out of state somewhere, what's the easiest way they could get involved with the Warrior Ranch Foundation?
The easiest way is they can go to our website, which is warriorranchfoundation.com. horsepowertrack.org, and that's the easiest way, and you can contact us through there. I do have an office number that they can call as well, and that would be 631-996-2581.
Okay, and we've got that on the screen here as well.
What kind of horses are they?
I mean,
mostly thoroughbreds or quarter horses or some of the warm bloods?
Little bit of everything, actually. We worked with one soldier and one horse, and that was a off-the-track thoroughbred, and that is probably the most direct parallel. Like when a horse is coming off the track, they've been taught to run. So then they come off, and we kind of need them to stop. So you have to retrain and reprogram that horse. And it's kind of like some of the folks in the military when they come back. I mean, they're in such a structured day-to-day regiment, and when they come out, again, they have to readjust emotionally. So it's a great parallel, and we just sort of retrain with a round pen session, and watching that horse decompress, you associate to that, and it's great. So we have quarter horses, thoroughbreds, a gypsy vanner, quarter horse paint, a big Frisian. So we have a little bit of everything. And my horse Warrior is actually an Appaloosa Percheron, and he was a rescue. He's about 33 now.
Well, I'll tell you what, we appreciate you visiting with us and tell us about.
Oh, well, I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you having me on there.
And
I hope you guys did okay during that hurricane there.
We were fine. We were far enough away that we weren't affected. But I've been down in Houston and stayed down in Houston many years ago and went through some of those, and I don't wish that upon anyone.
No, that's like awful. So hey, but I have to circle back to I was listening to you before I came on, and about the Vikings. Not that I watch that show, but my sisters do. And they did the ancestry thing too, and we have Viking in us.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting to look into because that stuff's just interesting. I don't know. It's just
yeah, it's
to see
pretty wild. It's different.
To see where you go or where you've been and surprise yourself, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, we appreciate it, and we'll throw it out here for the folks and let them know all about your organization, what you do, and good luck to you.
And thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you, and thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
All right, that's a good deal right there.
Helps a lot of people. And helps some horses too.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. See what this here is all about. See if I can get it to roll.
You can prepare yourself physically, you can prepare yourself mentally of what you think war is going to be like, but until you're actually in the combat zone and bullets are flying over your head and mortars are going off, and it's a whole different set of facts.
That's what's required of me to defend the Constitution of the United States. And if it takes eliminating the enemy before they eliminate us, then you can bet I'll be the first one to fire the shot. You can't really just kind of turn that off.
It's a very significant figure and a tragic figure. We should be preventing it, not talking about statistics.
More we're learning about PTSD. There's many things being put in place right now to try to help soldiers. We're trying to get horses involved with soldiers because we know that the human-animal bond definitely decreases symptoms.
Racehorses in general are trained to go. The ultimate flight. California away! Then we bring them back after they're no longer going to race, and we want them to blend back in and be reasonable.
When a horse career is over, there's a lot of societies now that take horses as riding horses.
Warriors Ranch Foundation, I think it's an excellent program. I think that the soldiers are going to benefit by it significantly.
Red came to us from the track. He was very anxious, he was head shy, he really didn't want people close to him, he wouldn't let you touch him. So he had a lot of issues we needed to overcome and address.
Hello, my friend. I've kind of mastered the ability to take predators have them act less like predators, and take the prey animals and have them act less like prey animals. He who moves who in the horse world wins.
I can kind of see myself being run around the round pen.
He's not going to believe where this leads in regard to how the horse is going to help him.
Al, he wouldn't do that if you didn't have the right energy.
You gonna be my new battle buddy? God, I lost it, man. All that crap and stuff that's just not really good to kind of keep in. It just kind of, all right, deal with it, dude.
They can turn to horses and get something much more productive out of it.
When Red connected with him and communicated effectively, just look at the facial expression on Alan.
It's been very therapeutic in working with the horses and managing PTSD. And
You may not totally recover, but this will be an outlet for them so that they'll be able to be a successful person in today's world, which is the key. I think the horse program that you do run is an excellent program, and I'm looking forward to participating in it myself.
No doubt that horses help people, period.
Horses, man. Horses is where it's at.
So check it out. Check it out. WarriorRanchFoundation.org. And
help them out.
Yeah, get involved. You can get involved any way you want. Any way you want to. You can go up there. You can.
Heck, horses are expensive. Send them $10 for a bag of oats.
Yeah, buy a bag of feed, something. But yeah, it's a good deal. I think it's pretty neat operation going on right there.
Yeah, it is. Sounds good, at least.
Yeah. So what do you got?
Man, there's this Canadian dog. I don't know if people have heard about
Canadian dog. Is that a song? You gonna sing a song?
No, you don't want me singing.
Oh no, it's Mexican dog. I was saying there's a song about that, but it's a song. Google that. Y'all be sure to Google that Mexican dog. That's a funny song.
Apparently, this dog's crazier than Tex on a date.
What happened to this dog?
Well, this dog in Canada is seeking to take a bite out of local government by running for mayor of a Newfoundland city. I've heard of yellow dogs, but this one might take the cake. Dog trainer Glenn Redmond on Sunday shared a video promoting Finn, the Australian cattle dog, is a new candidate for mayor of St. John's. Finn took the campaign trail to encourage residents about his plans to help businesses improve taxes and express his commitment to public works projects. He probably needs some more fire hydrants. Finn, being an Australian cattle dog, he's a tireless worker. He doesn't know when to stop. He will work day and night getting things done. The dog trainer added his four-legged mayoral candidate is uniquely equipped to provide hands-on solutions to a number of the city's issues.
All right.
Potholes are a big issue for Finn, as well as snow clearing and stuff in the wintertime. He's an avid walker, and these are certainly things that would be concerns for him. So only in Canada can an Australian cattle dog run for mayor.
Well, he might get it. I remember seeing on the internet somewhere where a dog won.
Oh, yeah, people have run them before.
Done it, so. But do they ride bulls? How about this?
Is it PBR time?
Bull riding time right here. Cooper Davis tore it up over the weekend. He tore it up. So what happened here was, this was at the PFIWestern.com. Check it out, PFIWestern.com. Invitational presented by Bass Pro Shop. Missouri State's JQH Arena. What happened here? Davis closed out his spectacular 2-for-4 weekend quietly with a buck off against Cooper Tires Brown Sugar in the championship round. He already secured his first event victory of 2017 and first since winning in San Jose, California last season. In total, Davis won 2 rounds on Saturday night. Saturday night's 15-15 Buckham battle led to 850 world points and $49,000. Davis jumped in the thick of the World Championship race after moving up to number 3 in the world standings. He started the weekend at number 6. Now he's at number 3, trailing Kayuki Pacheco by 549 points. Brazilian rookie Dina Barbosa finished in second place. He went 2-for-4. And he ended up with 342 points $125,000. Moved him up to number 18 in the world standings. In the world number 2, Eduardo Aparecido kept pace for his world championship race after he rounded out in the top 5. He went 2 for 4 as well. Picked up 125 points and $5,000. Eduardo is trailing Pacheco by only 150 points right there. Your world standings right now, your top 10 in the world are Kaique Pacheco, Eduardo Aparecido, Cooper Davis, Jess Lockwood, Derek Kobaba, Chase Outlaw, Fabiano Vieira, Stormy Wing, JB Mooney, and Matt Triplett. And 2 of those are out with injury, so they're going to move. But we did tell you some folks went up there and did some stuff. So let's see what transpired while at the PBR. And don't forget to go to the Book of Face pages, and there's some good pictures up there. We posted quite a few shots from Springfield, and we've got some more we're going to put up there later on. But let's see what happened right here.
I'm Monica Stewart. We're here with the Pepper Stewart Show, and we have Mike Lee with us. He's going to tell us a little bit about his weekend.
Oh, the bulls are really ranked this weekend. They didn't get a lot of them rode. I rode my first bull. He was good, and the other bulls I just about got them, but just a little short of the whistle.
What were the 3 bulls that you had the chance to get onto?
Yeah, I don't even remember their names. I kind of remember their numbers, but I don't pay attention that much. I just find out what they look like and get on them.
What advice do you have for the people that are trying to get involved in the PBR in the lower levels?
Just you got to learn how to fail. You know, that's a funny thing to say, but if you improve with your failures and don't let it get you down, you're going to have more success, I think.
What is your mindset going into the following weekends and the rest of the season?
I just try to keep it simple and have confidence in what the good Lord gave me, and he put me here to ride bulls, and I just want to glorify Him and serve Him, and it's fun, you know.
Well, we wish you luck into the following of the season, and we're glad to have you here. Thank you. Here to speak with Cooper Davis, who is having a pretty good weekend. How's it been going so far?
It's been a great weekend. I've got all my bulls rode and actually won all 3 rounds, so it couldn't have been any better so far.
So talk us through your rides and what bulls you've been having the chance to get onto.
All 3 rides I've just had really good bulls to get on, and last bull cut the cord for some reason. I've been the only guy to stay on him, and he's just one I match up with really well.
So what kind of preparation do you do throughout the week to get ready for this event? Hey, little guy.
I spend a lot of time in the gym, and it's more than just a weekend deal. We have to put all the work in the week and let it pay off on the weekends.
So we see you have a little bit of a friend here. How do you balance your home life along with traveling for this PBR?
He pretty much goes everywhere with me, so it makes it a little bit more fun. And he just loves the bull riding, so it makes everything a whole lot easier. He goes to the gym with me, and
that right there was Cooper Davis tearing it up in Springfield over the weekend. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, it is. He needed that win.
Good stuff right there. Speaking of wins, Built Ford Tough, let's drop down from Built Ford Tough to Velocity and tell you about some Velocity news right quick here. Cody Campbell and Skeeter Kingsolver, they tied to win the Real-Time Pain Relief Velocity Tour Rochester Rumble. Campbell started the night with an 87.5 aboard Millennium's back to win round 1 before going on to turn in an 85.5 on Lab Rat in the championship round. It was a 30-year-old's second Velocity Tour victory of the season, earning 65 points towards the PBR standings along with $6,700. Campbell's victory also moved him into the lead in the Velocity Tour standings and shifted him to number 32 in the world standings. Kingsolver covered Paint Desert in round 1 for 83 points before getting 85.5 on Jacked Up in the championship round. King Solver also earned his second Velocity Tour victory of the season, grabbing 65 points toward world standings and a check for $5,800. Campbell is now seated in the top 35. Will join King Solver at the Velocity Tour invite next weekend in Austin, Texas. It's part of the Built for Tough series, Wrangler's Long Live Cowboys Classic, presented by Frontier Communications. So, it's going to be a good deal. We will have a camera down there, too, so we'll bring you some stuff from that. Possibly. And with that, we got cow stuff.
Woohoo! Making money.
Smells like money when you step in it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got? You got one over there?
Yeah, there's one here. Make more money on those cull cows.
That's what I want to do.
And it's actually a really good idea. This is a really good article. You might be surprised at the amount of revenue that can be realized from a cull cow sale.
All right.
Cull cows happen. It may be age, injury, or some other reason like bad feet, bad udder, bad disposition, or failure to bring a calf to the branding. But every year, just about every beef producer takes a trip to town with cows and bulls that fell out of the breeding program. Recently summarized Kansas Farm Management data on Kansas cow-calf operations from 2010 to 2015. Participating operations had an average herd size of 126 head. They weaned an 84% calf crop, sold 106 calves, and 20 head of breeding stock or cull animals annually. In 2015 data, the average gross income of participating operations was $118,000. The sale of breeding stock or culls generated $28,454 that figure. Thus, the sale of cull animals accounted for 24% of the participating operations' gross income. Marketing cull breeding stock cows is often viewed as a loss. It's a significant source of income that should not be overlooked. Most cull cows are sold through local auction markets, or you can do them through AgX. And it's only 2.5%. Sorry, I had to get a cheap plug in.
There you go.
Understanding the market and making timely marketing decisions is one of the most important components of realizing the most daughters out of a cull calf. Packing cow prices tend to be highest and relatively steady from February to August, then declining rapidly, being lowest in October, November, and December. The worst time to market a cull cow based on the seasonal nature of the market. If open cows are identified in late summer and are in good condition, marketing those animals as soon as possible would likely result in higher prices than waiting until later in the fall. If open cows are identified later in the fall, marketing late winter, early spring, and placing cull cows on low input feeding program that would add additional weight and conditioning might be more advantageous than selling those animals immediately.
All right. So that's a pretty good deal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I guess, and a lot of times stuff like that you don't realize until you put pen to paper.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize the amount that your revenue you're drawing in from your cull cows because you're not putting it in your books because you're getting rid of it. So you're not thinking about that cow because it's not wrote down.
And for the guy starting out, buying some of those cull cows that are still able to breed or even bred that someone's calling out, they're lightly bred or exposed, it can increase your profit margin and give you a year, 2, maybe 3, depending on the age of that cow and her condition, that you could get some calves out of there to improve your herd.
Yeah, still you can make some money back, and then you can cull her again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but yeah, and like they said in that study, they didn't really realize because nobody was really paying attention. You weren't writing it down because you're hauling to the sale barn.
Yeah. But you go through and you think about what you're culling out and selling, say, you decided you're changing from Angus and blacks and you're going all Charolais or whites.
Yeah.
So you're going to sell off all those black cows. Well, there's money to be made there.
Yeah.
And that's something you have to really look at. And for, like I said, the guys starting out, that is a cheaper way than having to go buy a really nice heifer.
Yeah.
That is going to bring a lot more money.
And whatever cows you have that you want to sell and you don't feel like taking them to the sale barn, like you said, go to AgX, go to the website, call them up and say, hey, I got some cows I want to sell. I live over here. And they're going to send somebody over there. And like you said, 2.5% is all you owe.
Yep.
That's all. You go to sale barn, you get more. They're going to take more commission out of that.
Sale barns are going to take at least 8.
Yep.
And, you know, some of them that do the big consignment sales and cull cows and replacements.
Yeah.
They're going to charge a consignment fee and everything like that. There are no fees, 2.5%.
That's it.
So call us up and let's see if we can move them for you and
There
get
you
you a
go.
little bit, save you a little bit of money.
Move those cows. Speaking of moving those cows, there's 2 things that you can't, no matter who you are in America, there's 2 things you cannot escape. What would that be?
Death and taxes.
That's right. Death and taxes. You can't escape that. But last week, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association launched a media and advertising campaign that will build awareness about the various federal tax provisions that impact America's beef cattle producers. The campaign will focus strongly on the death tax and will work to build support in Washington for comprehensive tax reform that's fair and responsible for agricultural producers. This campaign is centered around a website, cattlemenfortaxreform.com, and it's going to run through September. So you've got till the end of September to get there. And it's not Cattleman, it's cattlemenfortaxreform.com. If you go on that website, you can see what's going on because the tax code for America is in bad need of updating. And let's see. If you go on the site, check it out, see what you think. If you don't like it, if you don't feel strongly about repealing death tax, then contact your officials in Washington D.C. But just go to the website, look around, see what's on there, and see what it tells you. If you're not familiar with what the death tax is, I'm sure the information they would tell you because it affects everyone.
If you inherit anything, you get the death tax.
Yep. And when you inherit a big place,
you get a big death tax.
And that's why people always wonder why somebody inherited a big, few thousand acres. Well, they got to sell half of it off to a development company to pay the taxes.
Mm-hmm. Or sell, if they're running livestock, they got to sell all the livestock, maybe to hope to save the land.
Yep. So that's not what you want to do. You got another one over there?
Well, we got 2 over here. We got one from the Texas Cattle Raisers Association on a missing Charolais bull.
All right. That's probably where Texas is at.
Might be.
What's missing?
There is reports of a Charolais bull missing from a pasture near Tahlequah in Cherokee County sometime after June 30th. The white bull weighs approximately 1,800 pounds and has a yellow ear tag in the right ear.
That is not going to help you. Why do we tell you all the time, brand your cows? Brand your cows.
Because ear tags can easily come out.
Yeah. Those get snipped out real easy.
Brand them.
That you can snip them out real easy, or they'll stick there. If you don't take the strings off your hay bales, which you need to be doing that, take the string off your hay bales. Some people don't take strings off their hay bales, and those ear tags get hung in the hay bales, or they're eating through the barbed wire fence.
Yeah.
And they hang one on the barbed wire fence.
Or they eating through that barbed wire fence and push out.
Yeah.
And they down the road.
And they're gone.
And then they find a cow, and then they're 3 neighbors over.
Yeah. You don't want that. Calf and feeder prices bounce higher. So I guess is that good news?
It needs to be. It couldn't bounce much lower.
Well, we're going to find out. That's what somebody told me a bunch of times because they say how come you guys don't proofread any of these stories before you do them? It's like, well, that takes all the fun out.
Yeah.
If you can't stumble through a story, then what good is it?
Exactly.
I got to get a teleprompter in here like you're on the on the news reading it, and I get a kick out of the people on the teleprompters because when they're reading stuff, and the stuff they're reading is stuff you should already
kind of know.
Should have been in your head that you could ad lib it and do it live. But, hey, oh well. All right, here we go. Cow cash and feeder cattle prices continue to show resilience this week. It helped along by rallying future prices. Feeder steers and heifers traded mostly steady at $5. Higher during the holidays, shortened week, according to Agriculture Marketing Services, AMS. There were instances of $6 to $8 higher in the week as future prices gained. The feeder cattle closed at an average of $4.59 higher week to week on Friday. The increasing chatter that wholesale beef values might finally carved out a seasonal bottom provided some support. Choice boxed beef cutouts was valued at 53 cents higher week to week on Friday afternoon at 191. Let's see. Select was 68 cents lower at 189. All your primal cuts trended upward with the exception of the rib primal, which was slightly lower. Large supplies of 50% beef trimmings continue to be traded on the spot, pushing the prices lower. Between firmer wholesale beef values and the climbing future prices, cattle feeders were passing on the feed bills through Friday afternoon. The live cattle at 105 on Friday. Live cattle future closed at $2.78. $2.78 higher week to week. All right. Let's see what else we got here. The packers could have increased concern because usually fourth quarter prices come to a seasonal low. If the prices turn this week, it could put them paying higher prices much earlier than expected. Packers cannot be sure of the availability of cattle moving forward, which may force their hand, a result in higher bids. So, higher bids is what you want when you're selling.
Yeah, if you're a seller. Buyer, you want lower bids. That's kind of how it works.
The producer should be ready for softer calf prices headed to the fall. There are some supportive factors that can mute the decline. Besides Midwestern farmers feeding, Midwestern farmers feeders, what are they? Tongue tied. They got a farmers feeders filling yards. Say that 5 times fast.
Right.
The farmer feeders filling yards. As a corn market alternative, loosely wheat pastures and the prospects for wheat pasture could add some support. There's a lot of information here. I feel like I'm reading an essay over here. What do they? I guess there's what does it come down to? Let me get the synopsis of this because they've got me a 15-page essay over here. I guess it's wheat. Early planted wheat, along with other forages, might add 30 or more days to the front-end winter grazing. At the same time, expectations for 2018 wheat prices are dismissal enough as the producers can begin fall grazing with an intent on a high likelihood of grazing out wheat in the spring. The full graze out adds another 75 days or so to the winter dual-purpose grazing period. The conditions suggest that 220 more days of grazing compared to 120 days. Okay, now we're getting down to it. A lengthy grazing opportunity also means some stockers will be looking for 2 turnouts on wheat rather than 1. So it's going to be common for the fall to see prices typical stalker size 400 to 500 pounds to be, let's see here, and then you're going to have a wide range of 400 to 600 pounds. And what they're saying is we have nearly 100 more days of grazing.
You can finish them off a little easier.
You can finish them off, put some weight on them. Why didn't they just put that on the front?
Yeah.
It's like 15 pages of nonsense here.
They want you to read everything.
They could have put that on the front. That's useless news.
It's keeping Tex out of the cattle business.
It is.
It's like, man, I can't read this.
I just wasted 5 minutes reading what I could have read in 10 seconds.
Right.
What do you got over there?
Well, consumer protection truly related for beef.
All right.
Despite the challenges, beef continues to win consumers.
Well, that's a good deal.
I don't know what challenges are other than tastier.
That's right.
It's kind of like a date. I've never really had a bad date. Some have just been better than others, and that's what beef is.
There you go.
The most recent survey conducted on more than 1,000 consumers showed 77% listed beef as their first protein choice, or a top choice when it comes to proteins overall. 93% reporting eating beef at least monthly. While this reflects strong results, the weekly frequency of beef consumption has declined. Survey results showed that proportion of heavy beef users, those eating beef more than 3 times a week, stand at only 25% in this wave, down significantly from 44% a decade ago.
All right.
There's less beef available on per capita basis than in the year 2000. But while that has changed in the past 2 years, the perception by consumers is that beef prices are higher, so they're eating less beef. We're seeing ongoing concerns about nutrition. Nutrition is important to the consumer in making that dinner decision. More people are saying, I think there is something else out there that's healthier, but they aren't calling you saturated fats or heart health or specifically as they did in the past.
All right.
Beef lags behind chicken on value in the consumer's mind. Well, it's a yard bird. It's cheaper to feed.
Yeah.
But through this series of deeper dive questions in consumer imaging index, consumers revealed that they, like age-old traditions such as heritage of beef producers, but they also like to know the most cutting-edge animal care practices are in place. This information from the study reinforces the need to humanize our industry and document how our industry has progressed, and we need our story to be out there. We're producing the best product we've ever produced, and consumers love it. That's not perception, that's reality.
All right.
Well, you know, you look at grass-fed and organic beef, they are tasty, and supposedly, according, if you read and believe the studies, they are healthier for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a nice grass-fed steak.
There you go. It's good to eat.
Yes, it is.
It's what's for dinner, is what they tell me. It's what they say. It says what's for dinner.
That's what they claim.
They tell me that. I was trying to find something here for you, and it's not. There it is right there. All right. There it is. Let's see what it shows. Doesn't show. Okay.
I made everyone. Tex can't even make one.
Look at that. You got a basket full of balls over there. All right. I guess that's all we got. We're running out of stuff. Well, that's good. We made it. We made it through all our paperwork.
There we go.
They're going to be happy with us today. That they didn't waste any paper.
None.
No trees were wasted in the printing of those papers.
That's what we need.
That's it.
Hug a tree.
Twice. So we're going to get on out of here. And what you're looking at right there, you got Richard Stevens right there. Look him up on the Book of Faces at Richard Stevens AgX affiliate on the Book of Faces. Go check out the page and like it. There's some sales on there. There's some registered bull sale right here going on. You got some bulls to look at there.
Yeah,
you got
3 really nice registered Angus bulls. They're low birth weight bulls. They're tested. They're guaranteed. They don't come back and breed. Ship them back. They are guaranteed.
Guaranteed? Can't get better deal than that. Can't get a guarantee on no tax. So with that, check him out. Look him up on the Book of Faces. Check him out. See what he's got going on, what he's up to, where he's hauling his chute to go weigh some cows. Because that is what they do. They will weigh the cows for you, let you know exactly what they weigh, so you know what you're getting. And with that, everything else going on, you can always go to pepperstewart.com, look around, see what's going on, and link to all the social media sites where a lot more stuff happens.